The heart monitor let out a long, chilling tone. For a split second, time itself seemed to stop. Sunlight poured gently through the hospital window, illuminating the still body of a soldier who had been fighting for his life for weeks. Machines hummed softly, but the room felt frozen in uncertainty. Nurse Alina Voss stood beside the bed, her fingers gripping the railing as her own heartbeat echoed louder than the monitors. It felt as if her determination alone could pull him back from the edge. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the unseen power of human connection, don't forget to support K for Kindness by liking, sharing, and subscribing, because stories like this remind us why compassion truly matters. Alina had spent years in the intensive care unit. His name was Cale Rowan, a soldier airlifted after a devastating training accident. Severe injuries and a deep state of unconsciousness had kept him suspended between life and death. But to Alina, he was never just another patient. Every single morning before her shift officially began, she would stand right beside him. She'd adjust his blanket, check his vitals, and speak softly to him, even though he never responded. At first, she told herself it was just part of her routine, a habit. But deep down, she knew it was more than that. It was hope. As time went on, the doctors began to lose confidence. Words like unlikely and minimal recovery started to fill the room, casting a shadow over Cale's future. But Alina refused to accept that ending. She had seen miracles before, and she was holding on, believing in one more. Days turned into weeks. Exhaustion crept in, and doubt followed closely behind. Sometimes she would just stand there, watching his chest rise and fall, wondering who he used to be. Someone who laughed. Someone who lived fully. Now he was trapped in an endless silence. Then one afternoon, something changed. It was small, almost unnoticeable. A slight movement in his fingers. A faint shift in his jaw. Alina froze. Her medical training told her to stay calm, but her heart filled with an overwhelming sense of hope. Over the next few days, the signs grew stronger. Small, subtle responses. Reactions that were just enough to make the doctors reconsider. But for Alina, these tiny signs meant everything. It meant he was still in there. He was still fighting. She began spending even more time with him, talking about the world outside his hospital room. She described the feeling of sunlight on your skin, the sound of laughter, ordinary mornings, and peaceful moments. She was building a bridge of words, a path for him to find his way back. Then came the day that changed everything. Cale's eyes slowly opened. It wasn't sudden, not dramatic like in the movies. It was just a quiet, gentle return to the world, Alina noticed instantly. Her breath caught in her throat as his gaze slowly, uncertainly found hers. There was confusion in his eyes. There was pain. But there was also something deeper. Recognition. Doctors rushed into the room, filling the space with noise and urgency. But Alina stayed right where she had always been, by his side. Then something unbelievable happened. Cale tried to speak. The room fell completely silent. His voice was weak, barely a whisper. But his first words were not about fear or confusion or pain. They were about her. He spoke about her voice, her presence, the comfort she gave him while he was lost in the darkness. He said that even when he couldn't respond, he had heard her. He had felt her kindness. Tears filled Alina's eyes and streamed down her face. For weeks, she had spoken into silence, never knowing if her words mattered. But they did. Her kindness had reached him in a place where nothing else could. Recovery was slow and incredibly difficult. There were challenges, setbacks, and long, hard days ahead. But one thing had changed forever. He was no longer alone on his journey. And Alina remained a part of it, not just as his nurse, but as the person who helped bring him back to life. Because sometimes, the most powerful acts of kindness are the ones we think no one notices. And yet those are the ones that are remembered the most. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to K for Kindness for more powerful stories that prove even the smallest act of compassion can change a life. See you in the next one.